Yo, yo.
Yo, yo.
What's going on?
Cooling.
Yes, welcome to No Ideas Original featuring Shannon, Rob, Zane, Ken, Kareem, and Theo. Theo couldn't be here tonight, but Rob is back in the house. What's good, brother? Welcome back.
Thank you, sir. Good to be back. Good to see y'all brothers, man. Y'all been hot, son. I've been watching. Y'all been doing your numbers.
Yo, Zane, what are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Give me 1 second.
Get it together.
Give me 1 second. I gotta chime out for a minute to hit up what you call it.
What's up?
I'll be right back.
Yo, we got a good one for y'all today. We got DerMarr Johnson is going to be tuning in. That's why we got the sports fellows with us, the resident experts for that. We got some other topics that we're going to chop it up on. Actually, DerMarr Johnson is now on the stream. DerMarr, bring him in. Get that kicked off. And let's rock. It looked like DerMarr may have froze up.
Yeah,
he froze up. DerMarr's on the stream, but he froze up.
Okay.
So, but Rob, yo, while we waiting for DerMarr to come through, what you been up to, brother?
Man, new home, new digs, new environment, new everything, son. New headaches, new stresses. Nigga gotta buy a snow blower. I gotta buy a leaf blower. I'm blowing every fucking thing, son.
Told you that light on, man.
I'm telling you, but it's a humble experience, man. It's a lot of space, but it's comfortable. It's comfortable. I can see a lot of things happening while I'm here. So, but I ain't leaving this bitch until I die. That's it. I'm here forever.
There we go.
You know what I mean?
What's up, DerMarr? Can you hear us?
What's up, brother?
what's going on, DerMarr?
What's up, man?
Can you hear us? It's like he froze again.
Yeah.
That's all right. There you go. He's moving. He's working on it. Yeah, this house thing is it's a new beast. I tell you that. That's all. It's a brand new beast. What's up, brother? That's all right. There you go.
He's good.
He should be. It's a new beast. I'll tell you that. That's all.
Give me 1 sec. Let me see if he can probably log out and log back in.
Yeah, so while we waiting for DerMarr to come back on, you had an opportunity to check out the Tyson joint, Tyson and Roy joint, right?
You know what? I fell asleep through all that shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, you miss Hug Fest?
Yo. What was your thoughts on it, Kenyatta? What did you think about it?
I mean, I could tell you Tyson must have been on his meds because he was out there hugging. He was real happy and stuff. You know, it was a new Tyson or something. I think the most interesting part of the fight was after the fight when Tyson said nobody cared about him getting his ass kicked.
Right. He's like, I've been out for 15 years. He just stopped fucking fighting. He ain't worried about me. Let me tell you, Mike smoked a lot of weed. That weed is helping Mike.
Yeah, he admitted to it, right? He said he was smoking before in the past, before all his fights.
Yeah,
I will say this though. To me, the Mike Tyson and Roy Jones fight, I wasn't mad at it. Did I think it was like a great fight? No, because to me, it kind of reminded me of like my junior high school prom. It was like a slow grind hug fest type joint. It wasn't action packed. It wasn't exciting.
No.
But Snoop like two uncles fighting, right?
Yeah. But I tell you this, like, yo, to me, Thriller definitely figured out like how to put together a good pay-per-view. Like, I wasn't mad at those pay-per-view, the performances and none of that. I thought that was good.
Yeah, no, they got like a concept going on. Yeah,
it
they had some good.
Okay.
Trying to come back on. But yeah, it was a full-blown concert. I think the only person who couldn't make it was Lil Wayne, but all the other performers, it was good performances, and Snoop Dogg stole the show.
Yeah.
DerMarr, you there?
I think he's there. I think we might get him. We might get him. Do we get him? What's up with Paso 365 in there? I see you. Who else is in the building? Nobody else.
Yeah. Yo, post let us know who's in the chat. Say what's up.
The crazy thing is we're talking about the Tyson and Jones, but the one that stole the show was Nate Robinson, right? And
Nate. Yeah.
He only landed 8 punches, and 3 of them knocked Nate on his ass.
But you know what would be dope? If Nate do get in the gym and get a real trainer and really put his little effort behind it, and he come back and do something.
Yo, Rob, you making it like he ain't have a real trainer.
He was with a real trainer.
He was off. Yeah, he wasn't on beat. You could tell he might have been just nerves, man.
You can't train the chin.
Yo, so you can't train the chin, so you shouldn't know.
Yo, Rob like he get a trainer. He had it.
He had a trainer.
What's good, DerMarr? You there? Can you hear us?
This joint is choppy.
Yeah. He sees how he goes. He's trying to figure it out. But yeah, I knew it was a wrap. The first jab he threw, I was like, oh man, Nate about it.
Then looking real suspect, right?
Yeah, man. Like, yo, he was lunging in. He was on balance. Just everything about, you know what I think he thought that he was gonna go in there and just street fight this dude or intimidate him and beat him.
That's what I'm saying. Who was this trainer? He said who was this trainer teaching how to throw punches like that?
Man, yo, his trainer probably taught him. Yo, his trainer probably taught him how to get busy. But you know what the other thing is? Probably like the anxiety and the adrenaline. That adrenaline get to running.
Yeah, I know.
So, yo, there's plenty of fighters, even professional fighters, that in the gym, they world beaters. They knocking sparring partners out left and right. But when you got to get in there and it's just you and the other dude under them bright lights, it's a whole different thing. And even you could tell, like, the dude he was fighting, he wasn't a world beater, but you could tell he was technically sound. Like, he know how to do a jab, he know how to move. So
Nate was talking a lot of crap though, so I'm sure dude was tuned up because Nate was talking crazy. Like he was on it, but dude, disrespect. You see the picture of dude with Nate Robinson jersey on recently?
Yeah.
Poor Nate, man. He's gonna be a meme for the rest of the year, man.
Hey, Sha. DerMarr just asked, can you see him in the back? He said his audio is up. He says and all that.
Yeah,
is he in the back room?
He's not. His pictures, I can see him in the back, but his picture's not streaming. Like he's not. Like right now, he just popped back on. I'm bringing him now, but he's not coming up. But yo, one thing you got to tip your cap to though for Nate for actually having the courage to get in there, man, because on the outside, you know, everybody's like we all, you know, people are Monday morning quarterback and looking at it and be like, he should have did this, he should have did that. But the reality of it is, you know, homeboy been training for 3 years, you know, and Nate probably was training for like 3 months tops. I'm giving him that, probably 3 months. You know, it may have been 3 weeks based on how his performance looked. I tip my cap to him for just even being willing to get in there and mix it up, because there's a lot of people that they ain't got it in them. There's a lot of people that would not have gotten in and done that. So yeah, you got to give that.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know, you got to.
The crazy thing,
nobody want to be seen get knocked the fuck out. So nobody want to step in that ring.
I heard he was only
that takes a lot of courage for real.
Or something. He was only guaranteed $600.
Yeah. You know what?
Nate? They gave him $600 to get knocked out.
Yo, Kareem, you're lying, son.
It was I guess based on
hold on, son.
boxing commission.
He could have made more money in the street fighting somebody.
He got 600, but he's supposed to get money on the back end of the pay-per-view. Yo, that's the real thing. I want to see what the pay-per-view numbers are. They
might be pretty good.
That number's not going. That you can't just leave that number out there, son. $600.
Oh my God. 600.
Oh, that's too sick. That is too sick, man.
Demar, can you hear us? Can you hear us, Demar?
I don't know, man. I think because he's using his phone, maybe.
Yeah. No, that's what I heard too. That Nate got 600. They gave him $600 for the smoke.
$600, bro. Think about it this way: if he got trainers, then he got $150.
He gotta pay everybody.
Uncle Sam got 300 of that. Uncle Sam got 200.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Did you
You
see the tweet that Shaq sent out?
Nah.
Yo, Shaq sent out a tweet saying something like, "Yo, Nate, it's all right. I still remember you knocked that dude out in the club in Boston."
Oh wow.
But yo, again, I go back to, you know, it kind of reminds me of the episode where how you call it, where you guys were interviewing Joshua Morgan Sr. and Kareem asked him, he was like, "Yo, can an average person rush for the yard in the NFL?" And yo, just because you're an athlete doesn't necessarily mean that you could get in there and it's interchangeable. You get in with anybody.
Right.
You know, Nate Robinson, actually, he's lucky that he didn't fight technically like a professional fight else. He would probably still be asleep.
Yeah, he'd be fucked up.
Yeah.
He got brain damage.
That's why, honestly, I'd be bugging when, I don't know if you ever seen when T.I. and Floyd Mayweather had that altercation in Atlanta.
Yeah, that would have been good for T.I.
I was saying something, and Floyd Mayweather said to him some shit like, "Yo, you know what I do for a living?" Like, beating that Floyd Mayweather would have probably put on him.
Yeah,
Floyd would have destroyed him. Man.
Yeah, man. So, yo, I just, that's what I said. Like, yo, you got to give props to Nate though for even having the courage to get in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I give it to Nate, son.
And then you know what the other thing is? You know what? I don't know if he thought he was going to win on intimidation, but if Nate decides to get back in, he got to fight somebody else who has the same level of experience as him. Like, you know, because homeboy, it is like in boxing. Like boxing is about technique, and if homeboy been doing it for 3 years,
he got some tech. He got his footwork.
Yeah.
You know, he may not be a world beater, like, because homeboy, he called out Conor McGregor. I got Conor McGregor smoking him. Conor McGregor will destroy him, I think. Like Conor, you can say whatever you want about Conor McGregor, but Conor McGregor went 10 rounds with Floyd Mayweather. So I see Conor McGregor smoking that dude. But I think that how you call it, I honestly feel like if Nate was to get in with another dude of his caliber, then I could see, you know, I could see him mixing it up and it being a little bit more competitive. Oh,
you know why I laugh?
Over 1 million buys from pay-per-view. How about that?
I think Nate wanted to just throw haymakers. He wanted to come in and throw haymakers. That was it.
Yeah.
He wanted to box. He wanted to just swing, son.
And I think Snoop kind of called it by saying you can't keep doing the same thing against a trained boxer, right? Because he just kept lunging in.
Right. Yeah, man.
Back, he timed it and caught him.
He blocked him.
You said another boxer of Nate's caliber, you could pretty much grab anybody out the hood. They'll take them $600.
Here you go.
Hey, y'all.
How you doing, brother?
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on?
How y'all doing?
I think
What's up, bro?
Still here, low static, but I hear y'all for the most part. Y'all hear me, right?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right.
Everything is up and going. Well, welcome to No Ideas Original / Sports. This is us, man. I'm Mr. Rob. My co-host is behind the scenes, but we got Kareem and Kenyatta here. Well, welcome to the show, brother. How you feeling, man? Good to see you, man.
Appreciate y'all having me, man. I feel good. No complaints.
You do? You look good, champ. You look real great over there, man. You're shining, man.
Man, appreciate it. Trying.
So what's been up with you, man? What you been up to?
With this COVID, nothing really.
No.
Just
Right. Not a fucking thing, right?
Right. It's fucking up a lot, man. Had
Right.
Jobs and trying to get in the league and in college, and just not a lot of stuff moving right now. So I'm just here working out, waiting around. Saying the big three. If they do the big three again, then I'm playing in that.
Right.
And
How about that? How's that experience, man? What's that experience like?
Man, it's like the NBA 3-on-3. Like everything first class.
You know what I call it? I call it the Big 340 and over league, right?
You know what? And
Yo,
that's what.
It looks like, I swear, it's going to turn into when brothers leave the league,
Yeah.
they got a little pickup game they can go to right after work.
Right.
Or something, you know what I'm saying? That's what's dope about it.
But Cube hate that shit, so that's why at first you had to be 30.
Oh, wow.
The second year they moved it down to 27, and this last year now you can be 22 and play.
Oh, wow.
But a lot of the older dudes, they like, man, what you doing, Cube? We 40 and older.
They ain't like the young bucks back, yo.
Cube don't want his league to be looked at like the 40 and over league. He want guys who can play to be able to go in there and prove that they can play. I mean, they still got to get drafted. All the old heads, the captains, so they got to draft them. But I mean, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with being in the 40 and over league. Shit.
Now, one thing I noticed about it, it kind of has like that park feel to it, like more of a street ball feel than the league. Just watch it, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's 3-on-3, and with so many plays you can run, but I mean, it's a whole bunch of basketball minds out there. Dudes ain't flying through the air, but it's physical. I mean, partying in every city, dudes hanging out with each other, drinking, and then as soon as it's time to play, dudes is in there ready to fight.
That's right.
It seemed like to be like it might be more physical than the league a lot of times.
Yeah, because you sitting in that paint. You ain't no up and down. You everything down there in the half court. So it's definitely more pushing. The league ain't as physical as it used to be.
Yeah, not at all. I agree with that, brother. I agree with that. So all that flopping shit, I ain't fucking with that. Like,
yeah, and they let you hand check in there too. So, but they had to kind of cut it down. Dudes ready to beat up the refs because they really let you get fucked up. And dudes like, man, like Dwayne Wade, they wanted Dwayne to play. Dwayne was like, shit, I left the league because I ain't want to keep getting beat up. I ain't about to come to this league and get beat up.
I tell you what, DerMarr, man. This is Zane, man. I don't know if you remember, but way back in the day, brother, your younger brother Bobo put you on the phone with me, man. And I spit a hot 16. I think you was it was like what? Maybe 1998, 1999 or whatever. I think you was about to start a record label or whatever. And but back then, man, I don't think I was actually like ready for it. You know what I'm saying?
You better now.
You know what I'm saying? Huh?
Better now.
Nah, man. Hey, if anything, I'm gonna start ghostwriting. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to your brother Bobo, man. Yeah, I'm actually out in College Park right now, bro.
Oh, for real? Nah, I tell you, said what's up. He had a baby today. It's funny you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Boy or girl?
Yeah, boy.
Oh, congrats, man.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Congrats to having a nephew, man.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up.
That, man. I gotta get down there and say him. I'm in Cincinnati.
Oh, you're in Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Oh, so also that's a great segue right there, brother. Can you tell us like how it was like in college playing for Cincinnati?
Well, I mean, I knew I was going for 1 year, so it was probably easier for me than it was the other guys. But we was number one all year. I mean, we had to deal with Hugs, crazy ass, getting cussed out every day, running us up and down for hours. But
oh man,
we was kicking everybody's ass, and it was a fun experience for me because of how good we were, and me being a number one player coming into college, I was able to move around how I wanted to move around. So it was really kind of sweet for me.
And you out there with a guy I know because Kenny Sott was from around the way.
Yeah. My man, yeah, he actually just got back out here because his daughter goes to Xavier. And he coached at one of the high schools, so he be over here all the time.
Nice. Y'all had a crew though. Think about it. You had Kenny Sott, you had Kenyon Martin. Y'all had a crew.
Yeah, Steve Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how was it transitioning from Cincinnati to the league, man?
I was preparing for the league since I was a sophomore.
Okay.
So it was just a matter of getting there and getting comfortable. So it wasn't as big as a transition as a lot of guys because they knew when I was young that I was supposed to be the next dude and all this shit. So I was working out with NBA trainers when I was a sophomore. I'm hooping with them dudes, so I was kind of used to it.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
And when you got to the league, like you played. It wasn't like you came in the league and sat. you got to play.
Well, I played in
Right.
spurts because my team they wanted to bring me along slowly, like kind of like they did Tracy and like they did Kobe. Remember, Tracy ain't played like his first about 3 years. Kobe had to sit on the bench for a year or two. So that's kind of what their plan was for me. I get in the game and I'm dunking and I'll play 20-some minutes one night. And I play 2 minutes the next night. They was kind of doing me like that. But then when that third year came around, was supposed to be my breakout year. That's when I had my car accident and I ain't played it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that had to be devastating, man. That had to be devastating.
Yeah, it
That
was
was
crazy.
tough, man. But I tell you what, DerMarr, hats off for you to still have that drive, man. To still have that drive and work through adversity and all that to still get back into the league, man.
Yeah,
That
man.
takes a lot of heart, bro.
I appreciate it. I could have gave up, took my insurance money and kept it moving, but basketball is what I do. It's what I love to do, and I wasn't going to not do that for nothing. I had to be paralyzed damn near for me to not to want to go out there and play. If there was a little chance, then I was going to give it a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was great. See, you went on after I played with St. Players, played several seasons, so that was
Yeah,
good, man.
yeah. I played 5 more years after the accident. NBA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us what that recovery process was like?
It was about getting range of motion in my neck because I couldn't look left or right. I couldn't look up or down. I was in that halo for 7 weeks and my neck was just straight for the whole time. So the rehab was just getting range of motion in my neck and it was tough. I mean, I don't know how it is for guys who tear their knees up and all that. I never had them problems, but not being able to look left or right and it was kind of tough. You can imagine not even being able to look a certain way. Your neck is that stiff. So I had to go through a lot of doctors and a lot of X-rays. Every team I go to, even though I'm cleared, everybody want to keep looking at X-rays, and it's a tough process.
Yeah.
Now,
So
what? No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
so when you came back, man, you got a look from the Knicks, man. How was that? Because the Knicks historically would say, my man, I know they needed talent
Yeah,
because they always do. So
yeah. So the Knicks was love because it was funny. So when I started preseason off in Phoenix, and I was doing well, but you know at this time people kind of like, man, we don't want to take a chance with this kid. His neck might still be fucked up. So I'm up in Phoenix, Steph, Penny, all them there, and I end up going out with Steph one night in LA. Some bullshit happened with one of the dudes that was hanging out, and I'm hitting the girl in my room. Brought some girls back to my room, dude. Punched the girl in the face. I get cut.
oh wow.
So then when I end up getting signed later that year with the Knicks, Steph and Penny, them guys got traded from Phoenix to the Knicks. So I met up with them dudes again. And I was able to, play some, help the team because we got the 8th spot that year. We ended up we went to the playoffs. We had a good run at the end of the year. We made the 8th spot, and then I'm getting swept by my boy Kenyon and them with the Nets. But it was love my whole time in New York. Maybe because we actually was all right, but I was supposed to sign back, and Isaiah kind of jerked me off with that one.
Oh man.
That sounds kind of like Isaiah's tenure there. A lot of controversy and
Right. I mean, it wasn't really like that as much our year. Like I say, we was winning games. We was out of the playoffs, and we won games to get in there. But I was planning on signing back, and Zeke was like calling me all summer. I'm working out with the Knicks dude all summer. He coming out to DC, working us out. He like, man, you ready to sign? You ready to sign? And so when the date come, I'm like, yo, where's his contract at? I got to go up to New York and holler at him, and he gave me some bullshit story or whatever about my agent and some other player and all this shit, and ended up not having my contract. So it was a blessing in disguise because I ended up going to Denver that year my teammates that was in New York that year was like, man, you better be lucky. You got the hell up out of here.
Hey, DerMarr, tell us about the night, man, back in 2000 when you was the sixth overall pick of round one for the NBA draft. Tell us about that feeling, man.
It felt great. It felt great. It was, for me, it was like finally, because like I was saying earlier, I was supposed to be this next one since I was in high school, since I was a sophomore, junior in high school. I was the top player in the country as a junior. They wanted me to leave school as a junior. And I ended up, of course, I wasn't going to do that. I was going to graduate high school. Then I did my 1 year Cincy. So it was just, I've been preparing for that moment for so long. It was like, okay, finally it's here. Now I'm ready to get this thing rolling.
What's the first, I guess, one of the top three investments or things that you splurged on once you had got signed?
Shit, I ain't investing in shit. I bought look, before I even got drafted, I had a 500 for me. That's 500 for me. I bought my AAU coach, Curtis Malone, brought him a S430. I had
Shout out to Curtis Malone.
Yeah, so I had two Benzes, a big ass DJ chain, man. Kenya Wynn got chains. He got KM, I got DJ. No Rolex. Before I even got drafted, bro.
Damn. All right.
Man, the people around me, man, we ain't used to have it now. They just know how to show you how to spend it. They don't know how to show you how to make it.
Now, would you say that's changed in today's NBA, where there's more like education around like how to invest your money and stuff like that?
For sure, I do think it's changed a lot. I mean, even back then, though, I had financial people, and it wasn't really the people around me, but my financial people. The NBA had programs where guys was telling you certain stuff, but you ain't really see it like that. Now you see your people that you looked up to, people that have signed for hundreds of millions of dollars who ain't got nothing no more. So you can kind of see it. I think the education is way more out there than it used to be, and guys are making way more money too.
Yeah, definitely. So, and with him in the big three, with him, you playing with some guys over there, like with him, Drew Gooden and all these other guys, man. How's it playing with those guys?
Yeah, Drew, my dude, Drew came out. He was in high school. We came out the same year, and he didn't make McDonald's though, but he ended up having a great career at Kansas, having a real good NBA career. Great dude, you know what I'm saying? And Baron Davis had BD on the team. I became a captain because of AI. AI was the captain of my team, and he brought me on as a co-captain. And then when and I realized he wasn't really trying to do a lot of the work. I had to really play the captain role. I had to draft the team by myself. I had to like make all the moves and all that. So I'm like, man, I use that experience I'm trying to be a GM one day. And since AI left the league, I've been the captain of the team, and I've been a GM of the team for 3 years. I've been through 3 drafts already, so that's an experience I'm gonna try to take on to the next level. It's a tough job being responsible for dudes who there's 6 figures in these dudes' pockets, and I'm responsible for who get it. You got friends calling you, dudes blowing your phone up, yo, draft me, sending me videos and all this. And I gotta look at dudes I know like. Dudes who got names, dudes who had good NBA careers, but it's this young dude who hungry, who I know is shape right now and still could do it, and trying to juggle with who you're gonna pick. I think I've been one of the best drafters in that league so far. That's what they say.
That's good, man. If you see that as like a career path, does the NBA help people out with the stuff like that who want to get involved with those type of programs and want that type of future?
For sure. I just finished the NBA coaches program, and it was great. Because a lot of players, they don't fuck with the analytics. So because these teams are hiring dudes who ain't never touched the basketball, they good with the numbers and all that, and players hate that. So what the program did was they want us to basically get a one up on them dudes, because we can learn what they know. They can learn our knowledge of being out there and playing. So they taught us how to use all the analytic programs and writing up all the scout reports and all the shit. And it was good. So, and that's just something that the NBA, they look at who's in that program, and they asking the people who run it, like, who was good in your program, and dudes was getting jobs from that.
Hey, we got a question from a guy, Rob Brother. He wants to know, how was it playing for Isaiah?
Isaiah was the president when I was in New York. Lenny Wilkins was the coach. But I mean, it was cool because we was winning. He was always around. Like, after games, we'd win. Him and Steph would be hugging and crying on each other's shit. That's why it was funny when I seen them dudes start to have a little beef. I'm like, man, these dudes was hugging and crying after games we won when I was there.
Yeah, him and Steph, they had a bit. You could tell everybody seen how that fell out. That was crazy.
When I was there, everything was cool.
Wow.
Now,
Hey, DerMarr, as far as when you had to play defense on the other professional players, who do you think was the top three that was the most difficult, that probably just gave you the most competition as far as for their offense?
Shit, my top three weird, bro, because like the dudes you would think the best dudes are like Kobe and AI and them dudes who was the best one-on-one players. I guarded them better because I was used to that. I came up from playing one-on-ones and stuff like that. The dudes that was hard for me to guard was like the first game I played, Jamal Mashburn gave me 3 fouls in like 5 minutes. Or like strong ass dudes who outweighed me by 50 pounds, like Cordis Williamson used to come in a game playing at 3 when he a 4. And he a big muscle motherfucker. He trying to keep post me up, and I ain't strong enough to really fight him. I'm like, man, I'd rather chase Chuck around all day before I'm dealing with a dude who trying to post me up. So I guarded the main dudes better than say dudes like that. Anthony Mason used to come in a game and just try to take me right to the block. Little dudes like that who I ain't like.
Now, on the flip side, who was the ones that played defense on you? Was like, man, this is easy buckets right here.
It's easy buckets.
I know it's several, but like
a lot of people, right?
I can't say is like no person in particular, because it was my career highest. It was on Milwaukee. It was when Sam and Glenn Robinson and Ray and all them dudes was there, and it was like, if you put a smaller dude on me, then I'm gonna shoot over him or go to the block. You put a bigger dude on me who's slower, then I'm gonna drive by him and try to get to the rim. But I never got to the point where they just coming down and just throwing me the ball every time. Like, that was a different game back then. I had to throw the ball in the post. First it was to Dikembe. Then when he left, Sharif Abdul-Rahim came in. He 20 and 10. We had to throw the ball in the Sharif. And then I go spot up.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, it was an inside
out
game. Yeah. It was an inside out game then versus now.
We had to throw the ball in.
Pick and roll.
And even in Denver, where we was more up and down and we scored more, but we still had to throw the ball in the middle almost every time.
Yeah. Get him his touches.
Yeah.
I know how.
I would imagine
game now.
Yeah, I would imagine for you that had to be a crazy adjustment going from, like you said, preparing for the league since your sophomore year.
Yeah.
Now you're basically being used as a spot up shooter, whatever the case may be. There's got to be a crazy adjustment.
Yeah, it was, and that's how they do. Because even in Cincinnati, we threw the ball in the Kenyon every time down there. But we were so good, I wasn't even tripping, because I'm like, at first I thought I was gonna have to go in there. Me and Satterfield thought we were gonna have to go in there and get a dub, because we both McDonald's All-Americans. We coming in there, and Kenyon was a defensive player at first.
Yeah. And
then Kenyon just got so much better over that summer. He came back a different dude. He came back the best player in college. So I ain't have to go in there and get 20. I went there, averaged 13, and still was a top pick, and I was cool with that. But they kind of took the ball out of my hand, because we got Satterfield and then we got Logan, 2 point guards. In high school, I played in AAU. I played with the ball in my hands a whole lot.
Yeah.
And then when I started to work out with them NBA trainers, Mike Brown used to train me. He dude who assistant coach over at he coached LeBron in Cleveland. He assisted over with the Warriors when he was with the Bullets at that time before they was the Wizards under Bernie Bickerstaff. He was training me. Him and BJ Bickerstaff, who are coach now, we was both training with Mike Brown. He was teaching me how to play without the ball, come off screens and all that shit. So when they see you can do that and they see you can shoot the ball, they put you in that shooter box.
Okay.
So then when AI kind of fucked it up too, where they started calling Curry because he crossed Mike up. I was scared even that 1 year. I mean, they was calling Curry.
Yes, sir.
Hold the ball for 1 second. Like, so that took away, and I'm already tall. I took away from me trying to even
6'9",
do
right?
some moves. Yeah.
Now you were one of the dudes, the first dudes that I remember with that size, that height, who could dribble the ball like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That was, I guess that's where it came in, where I was, people looked at me so crazy as like a top player because they ain't see a lot of that. Because it was big dudes who can shoot, and there was big dudes who can handle a little bit, but I was just a true guard.
Yeah.
Like, I brought the ball up. I shot threes. I passed. Man. It wasn't. I ain't played my back to the basket at all.
Tell us about the experiences you had playing the course seas.
Mm-hmm. It's a wicked place over there, man. Just depending on where you go. You can go some dudes go some places where they're comfortable. It's a good city, and they can spend their career there and get all their money. Sometimes you can go to a place and they just decide they don't want to pay you. You can go to a team where they feel like they're paying you so much, and every time they lose a game, it's your fault when it's not. And now they trying to replace you. So it's kind of up and down over there. I've had some bad experiences over there. I'm owed a whole lot of money over there. I'll probably never get, and I've had a few good ones.
Look at a guy like Steph who went over there and he pretty much never came back.
Yeah. Steph went over there and ate.
Hey, I heard Steph on Marbury like the Michael Jordan in China.
Yeah, he got a statue and a show and everything.
Yeah, they love Steph over there. He probably the best player that ever came there, but he's probably the biggest. He went over there and he won championships, and he sold his shoes, and he promoted himself well, and they love him over there.
Hey, Demar, we had a question for somebody. They want to know: do you guys draft overseas players?
The big three.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're good enough. I mean, I don't know how we would say him. We had one dude that was drafted. He was an overseas dude. He already played like some professional 3-on-3 somewhere over there. He's nice too, but FIBA ended up not. It was something with FIBA, but they ain't allow him to play because of his rights with some other team. But if you're good enough, dudes will draft you for sure.
Wow.
Now, who would you say was your favorite teammate, your favorite guy to run with?
My favorite teammate. Favorite guy to run. Them probably two different dudes. Kenyon is always gonna be my guy. We played college together. We left at the same time. We were the same age, and we brothers. Also, me and AI is very close, and to this day, he's one of my closest friends in the world. But as far as like on the court, Andre Miller was the dude who probably gave me the most assists. He was throwing me lobs from half court. He was always finding a way to find me.
And I know he always had like everybody always spoke highly of him in terms of being like a good vet and stuff like that.
Man, for sure. Like he practiced every practice, and dudes wasn't doing that. Like dudes was sitting out of practice all the time. Andre was older than them dudes, still practiced every game, played every game, and he was always him.
Nice. Hey, I want to ask you about it. I mean, I know this is kind of tough, man. But what's him the Andre Emmett situation, man? Whatever. I mean, how did things unfold after that happened, man? Because I know that was kind of a tragic situation.
Yeah, man, that was. I just posted something with Dre, like an hour ago. That was tough because and that was my dude. He was our best player for 2 years. We began to get real close. He had hit me up before that year where I drafted him. He had sent me some highlights. He was like, "Man, take a look at me." Kenyon had said something to me about him. I said, "I already know who Andre is. I was out in China. He was out there, and he scored like 71 in China, and I already knew him. I just said, bro, just go to the combine, just show me a little bit." He went to the combine. He tore that shit up. I had the second pick, and I grabbed him, and we was close ever since then. And now stuck in a situation where I need another co-captain, and I gotta replace somebody. I gotta replace him. And he did a lot for us, a lot of scoring. I didn't even have to really do much, but hit a few shots because he was in there killing.
Yeah,
but it was sad to see that happen like that, though, man.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Ken.
It looks like they at least making some progress on the case, though.
I thought they already caught the dudes.
Yeah, they caught him. They caught him and brought him in. Which is not in our situation where the places we grow up and stuff happen is not common at all. So that was good.
Yeah. I mean, it was shit. It was on camera.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, we've seen where in recent times, right, things being on camera and kind of is ignored to some degree, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at least now with these cameras, and people hate them, but sometimes it helps us out. We'll be able to see what's going on, because if it wasn't for them cameras, that should have been swept under the rug.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Now, DerMarr, do you have I know people talk about the top players just as much as people talk about the top influential rappers in hip hop. What would be your top 5? I know top 10 would be way too extensive. Do you have a top 5 of all time?
Basketball or hip hop?
Basketball.
Basketball. Mike is 1. Kobe is 2. Now you talk about being an influence, right? Not just who I think are the best.
Yeah, the influence.
Yeah. Mike, Kobe, Magic. Who else? Shit. Iceman. 5 might not be enough, because I looked up to.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, 10. Yeah, 10. All right, let's go 10 if you got 10.
All right. I'm gonna keep naming off names. I don't want to do no order.
I got you.
Because when I was coming up, I watched the I don't know how old y'all are, but the Superstars DVD, where they had Mike and Magic and Isaiah and Bert, all them dudes. And they would just show me highlights and all that. Man, I used to watch that shit over and over again, and I would take stuff from all them dudes along with the local dudes just from around the way. So, but Mike was always the one for me. Kobe got to that point later on, because when I first got in, you seen Kobe was like the top dude, but I thought, and I can do everything better than he does. I'm taller than him. I shoot better than him. I dribble better than him. I'm I could do everything better than this dude. And he just got better and better and better every year. And I'm nah, that dude right there is something serious. So Kobe crept his way in there. Magic, Bird, Iceman, Tim Hardaway, Reggie, Pippen, Grant Hill, Penny. I started to really gravitate towards the guys. Even I never played like Mike, but the guys who kind of built like me and played like me. That's where Pippen come into play, and Grant Hill and Iceman Gervin and those type of dudes. They used to compare me to Magic Johnson at one time. I used to play with the ball and was a 1, because I used to pass. I never was a gunning dude. My points just looked good. It was either some deep threes or some crossovers, some dunks, but I never was a dude to go out there and try to get 50.
That's a solid list right there, though. That's a very respectable list right there that you just gave.
Appreciate it.
How's it playing for Michael Cooper as a coach out there?
Coop crazy, man. I don't know if y'all watch the games, but I be getting tired of Coop keep screaming my name. My boys be like, if you watch the games, DJ, my boy, yo, why Coop keep screaming your damn name? I was like, man, I don't know. But Coop actually was our coach for like 2 weeks my first year in Denver.
Okay.
They fired Jeff Bizdelic, and Coop was the assistant, and they broke Coop in. And we knew Coop at some point in time Coop was going to take over that job, but Coop ain't last too long. Him and Melo got into it one day, and they both Joe's car ass in there quick.
Yeah.
But that was my dude since then, though.
That's good.
I tell you what, though, I saw the highlight, man. When you hit that 4-pointer for the Big Three when y'all was in the final. I think it was 2018 when you played against Katina Mobley's team in the finals for the Big Three.
Yeah, I'm always right up there and lead the league in 4-pointers, and then out of nowhere, a motherfucker come on, Mike Bibby first year, edged me in 4-point shots. I forgot who had the most the second year, but I'm always right there. But Joe Johnson ran away with it last year. Joe was shooting things like layups.
Oh, so I got a question from Sanan. He said, did you ever meet any players you idolized and were disappointed when you found out who they actually were?
Disappointed? Nah, I wouldn't say that. I've seen some guys who I looked up to, and when you see these guys on TV, like, and you're young, you don't know what they like in real person, and then you see them in real life, and they just regular, and they just like you, and they and they like going out there and want to fuck with girls and doing the same shit you trying to do. You like, damn, you? like you out here. Like, I ain't know you would be out here like this. But disappointment now.
That's cool. So outside of basketball, DerMarr, what you like doing? What are you doing right now?
I'm in a bowling league. I bowl.
Okay.
Ping pong, spades. I binge watch a lot of TV shows. I play 2K and Madden.
Hey, DerMarr, man, you don't know about those spades, bro.
Nah, I'm like top 10 spades.
Now, I heard you
Not a lot of people in
2K.
Cincinnati play it like that. Before I moved out here, I mean, my house was a spot every day, everybody over there, and we spades every day. We got records for everybody and all that shit. But what I got out here, not a lot of people play like that. They play a game called euchre. I don't know if y'all heard of it. It's kind of like a 5-card spades kind of game.
What's the highest you ever did in bowling? Because I know bowling, like the highest you can get is 300. What's the highest you ever had in bowling?
289.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
That's
man,
impressive.
hey,
That's good.
you might as well be pro. You might as well be pro in bowling too.
Yeah. I bowl.
Man, you on the 2K too?
Yeah, I'm on it too. I don't be into my park like my kids and all everybody else do. I play against people.
Okay.
Hey, give your tag for the 2K whenever you get a chance, man.
Shoot, I don't even know what it is. I just turn them up. I go on and play.
Oh man. So what's I guess things you got coming up next? Business endeavors or anything that people need to know that's tuning in right now for DerMarr Johnson.
I'm writing a book. I write a book about my life. I'm doing some training out here in Cincinnati while I'm here until a coaching job or a scouting or GM job come up. And hopefully they can get the Big Three back going. They already see me out there playing the Big Three.
That'll be excellent, man. Like, when are you looking to put out the book?
I don't know. It's coming along slower than I expected right now, but hopefully it'll be out there next year.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely gonna have to have you come back on and talk about the book too when you get
Yeah,
back.
for sure. I mean, it's a lot of stuff out there that people know. I've done a lot of interviews, but it's a lot. It's a lot people don't know.
Oh, okay. Hey,
Well, I
brother.
tell you what, man. It was definitely a great uh time that you took the time out to have this interview with us, brother. You want to give any shout outs?
No, shout out to y'all guys for having me, man. I appreciate it. I'm here, phone call away. Hit me up, y'all, whatever y'all need and all that. But other than that, man, everybody be good. Peace. Bless everybody that came in and watched, man. Stay safe in this COVID.
My
Thank you,
man.
man. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Blessings, bro. Definitely
to you.
appreciate it, Demar.
Yes, sir. Y'all fellas be good.
All right. Tell Bobo I said what up.
I will.
All right.
DerMarr Rosen, everybody. DerMarr Rosen. Yeah, man. Yo, he how you call it? Like, he definitely got a story, for people that don't know the backdrop. He was in a car accident. And when he was in a car accident, he had to wear a halo for an extended period of time. And they offered him insurance money to kind of bow out. But he worked through it and he made his way back to the NBA, man. You talk about perseverance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we spoke on like Nate earlier with in terms of courage to get in there, but it takes a lot of courage to even attempt to bounce back from an injury like that.
Yeah, broken neck.
I think he broke 4 vertebrae.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, and you know what? I think a lot of people also when Cube started the Big Three, I think a lot of people thought that the Big Three wasn't gonna be what it turned out to be. But it seemed like the Big Three is here to stay, man. Like, people really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cube did a good job. What he did was he started leveraging the players, like having guys as co-captains, drafting the teams and stuff like that, and understanding that he could leverage the players just not on the court but off the court too.
Mm-hmm.
That's really helping him out because like DerMarr was saying, he's got players calling him, trying to get on the team now.
Yeah.
So,
plus, like he said, at first it almost had that spectacle feel to it in terms of like getting the older, only like retired players, but now, like he said, they're bringing in young guys who are hungry, So I think Ice Cube did a good job of making sure that it's not like, almost has that wreck feel to it.
Yeah. Didn't Joe Johnson make it back to the league?
Yeah.
Joe Johnson made it back.
I don't know if he stuck around afterwards, but I know he got at least like a 10-day contract or something like that out of it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Zane.
Pardon me, friends. I'll be right back. Pardon me. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Joe Johnson ended up getting back to the league. I don't know if he went to the Jazz or somebody picked him up, right?
I think he did go back to the Jazz.
Yeah,
I think he did.
So yeah, it's become like another avenue for players to try to get back into the league. It's an opportunity to showcase themselves.
Yeah. Well, thanks to DerMarr Johnson for popping in and sharing with us his Big Three experience and his NBA experience. It's always interesting, I think, when you have the opportunity to interview and speak to these people, because to me it's funny. It's like what he said, the experience of when he actually meet these when he met like these people and was like, man, these are regular people. They real life people. And then we have these experiences with people that we've seen playing the NBA, we watched on TV, and then they pop on and we have these conversations with them. It's like, yo, all right, these are regular dudes too.
Yeah.
So I appreciated him being like candid and being open and just down to earth. So, props to him for even popping on and doing that.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're gonna get back into sports, but let's first let's pivot and talk first about what everybody's been talking about this week in the news. I'm sure everybody has seen like that highlight clip of the restaurant owner that ended up telling the young ladies that were in the restaurant twerking that they needed to stop twerking. And I know Zane seen it in particular because Zane posted on his Instagram also. Zane seemed highly perturbed about it. He was like, yo, I'm in agreement with this gentleman. This gentleman is correct. This is an atrocity, twerking and shaking. Right. So let's go to Zane first. Zane, what's your opinion on it?
My opinion is that shout out to the brother for his establishment holding it down. I just feel that like us as men, well, I can speak for myself, and I know everybody got this situation, but I mean, I like to watch that stuff, but you gotta have it to where no, say like you gotta have it to where there's some type of etiquette. You can't be out and about because you don't know if kids in there and stuff like that. So I feel that the dude did.
You talking about twerking with etiquette? You talking about twerking with etiquette?
No. I'm saying you can't just twerk anywhere. You can't just twerk anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And the main message what the brother was trying to say that on that establishment, he was like, he's trying to have a place where people can come down, eat food, enjoy themselves, and not worry about the extracurricular stuff going on. So, like, if the ladies want to twerk, do that for like a strip club. Do that for a regular club or a lounge. Don't do that at a public spot to where people eating that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, okay, say if you other four brothers had an establishment, and if one or two or more females want to twerk, they might come there every other day, every other week or whatever. And at the same time, you could be still losing business. You know what I'm saying? Because you might have church folk in there or whatever. Like I said, you might have kids in there too, and parents don't want their kids to be influenced by that. So at the same time, I feel that the brother held his own. Now the only thing about it is that he didn't have to cuss. He didn't have to use no profanity to get his point across. Huh?
Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
He didn't have to curse. Fuck out of here. Sit your ass down and eat your fucking food. You be shaking your ass at the table. Yo, a man is trying to establish class. And that's the thing, man. Too many of our people step out. It's all right to have fun. It's all right to twerk and do all that. There's a time and place for that, man. And he's trying to have an establishment where now you may have people that came there and be like, I ain't going to the place because there's too many bammers in there.
Right.
You're not acting right. And that'll tear away from a lot of good customers. Yeah. Man. You probably get some good people come in there and want to come and eat. And now they know homegirl in the Ratchet Squad is going to be in there. I ain't fucking with that place.
But you know what, though? Like on the flip side, real quick, because I know y'all want else chime in and give your opinions, but also a lot of people didn't know that the DJ was playing the song "Back That Ass Up." So I really think no. Yeah, the DJ playing "Back That Ass Up," and we all been to the club, lounge, all that other stuff. When that song come on, that's like the twerk anthem. Besides the Luke stuff, like Doodoo Brown and all that with her. But I would say that the brother that owned that establishment, he should have blamed the DJ first for making that music selection. Because at the same time,
homeboy's a lawyer, right? You can't go to the guy that owns the lawyer, right?
Yeah, he's an attorney. Yeah, Kareem, go ahead. Which was
I was just gonna say on the I think Zane touched on it. I was gonna say on the flip side, I think the DJ kind of egged it on and started it.
Set it off, right?
Out on suit, pretty much,
Yo, just imagine if he didn't play Luke then. That'd have been a sick moment.
You might have had more.
If that DJ would have played Luke, he would have kicked everybody out that goddamn restaurant.
So here's the thing: I think we're all in agreement. Like, there's a time and a place for twerking, but do you think the owner handled it correctly?
I mean,
do you think the owner handled it correctly?
It's his place. You can't. I mean, it's his place. He got, for one thing, it is a food establishment,
right?
And that's the first thing. I mean, did he have to go like that? I mean, if you looking at the video, even some of the other people, they were kind of surprised at how hard he was going with it. You look at the people's reaction; they look like, what the hell?
I don't need your fucking money. Get your fuck out.
Yeah, like he could have. I mean, he could have did himself a little better by not going like that, because he should have thought too. Yo, listen, dude, you a lawyer too. They got you on tape going fool in your own restaurant. I mean, how's that go as far as clients and stuff too? Is this how this dude really is?
Yeah, so, good point, Keon.
I mean, I agree. I think that I get the owner's position on it. I think that he probably could have been a little bit more diplomatic. But they did say that he spoke to them on a number of occasions and asked them to do it. I go back to what Zane is saying though, like, why is your DJ, if you're trying to set the ambiance for your restaurant? Why is your DJ playing twerk music? If you don't have an upscale establishment, a sit down joint, like we've all been to fancy restaurants. You go to a fancy restaurant, they not playing back that ass up.
He screamed on the DJ. He said, "DJ, turn that shit off." Turn it off.
The DJ a pervert. DJ pervert.
Now, yo, here's the real question, Zane. Would you go to that restaurant?
It's taking a long time, bro.
I'll be the first one in, last one out. Hey, I'll be right by the DJ, like, yeah, man.
Yo, Zane,
I
you be asking the DJ if he take requests, Zane?
Oh man.
I need you to play.
Hey, what state was that in? Was that somewhere down south?
Texas. I believe it was Texas.
Okay, Texas. Okay.
Yeah.
The grass fed twerking.
I believe in other states he might have got away with that.
Right.
Yeah. So yo, they were talking about it on Power 105, and one of the things that they said that I was like, yeah, I could see that. They were saying there was another gentleman that was a restaurant owner that he called in, and he was saying that he felt like that the gentleman could have handled it better, because he said that who's to say that the women that he confronted didn't have boyfriends or whoever that may have come back and tried to assault the owner, shoot the restaurant up, you know. So he was saying that he felt like it could have been handled better. But the gist of it, everybody pretty much is in agreement. Like, you know what, it's a time and a place for it. And clearly it wasn't at that man's restaurant. Like, no. I get the establishment, and he's trying to set the ambiance for what he wants his establishment to be. You know, I respect that, you know, because I think anybody, you know, if it's your business, you set what you want the environment to be. So his first order of business, I think on the day after that, should have been telling the DJ, like, this is your playlist, or telling the DJ, you know what, you're fired. I got to get another DJ.
Get out of here.
You know, there's certain songs that's like Negro spirituals. Like, if you play the electric slide, what you expect somebody to sit down and eat their dinner while the electric slide is playing, or the Cupid shuffle? Like, dude knew what he was doing when he put that record on. The DJ was scrolling.
You know, put Mystical on or something, make it fast. Mystical, that was the next song in the playlist.
hey, the way things are now, how people do stuff, you know, with a strategic plan behind it, you never know. That might have been a promotional tool.
Well, yeah, that's true. You're right, Zane. That's true. But here's the thing. The business obviously is flourishing, because if that business wasn't flourishing, I don't know if he have an issue with people twerking in there.
Nah, he probably want more people twerking than that.
Yo, Kareem, the video Kareem sent was actually really like, it was disturbing, because Kareem
was crazy.
Video, yeah, where it seemed like it was like an older couple that tried to stop these teenagers from twerking, and they jumped the older couple.
Word.
Yeah, they jumped them and beat them up, like really beat them up bad.
Damn.
So,
what state was that, Ring?
To be honest with you, I'm not even sure. Yeah,
that was outdoors too.
Yo, man. Yeah, wealth principle number one. Mind your business, yo.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Mind your business. Don't even worry. The kids, if they spinning on their head, let them the fuck alone. Let them alone, man. Fuck with them kids. Them kids is crazy.
Switching gears, getting back in the theme of sports, we got the fight tomorrow. The real fight. Errol Spence Jr. versus Danny Garcia. I want to hear people predictions and why. Who you going with, Kenyatta? Who you think gonna pull it out and why?
I'm going with Errol Spence Jr. I think that layup. He's anxious to fight. I mean, I think he's like you were talking about before. He's definitely trained and he's ready to go. And I don't think it's going to go the distance either. I think after that weight, he wants to put on the show to let people know he's there. This kind of like, if you can make it, you know, this is a real big name, but it also is a good stepping stone to something bigger.
Okay, all right, Rob, who you got?
I got Spence. I got Spence in a tight one, because I know Danny's not. He ain't gonna lay down.
Danny like Treyway, like Shotty said in Treyway, which Treyway don't break, they don't fold.
He ain't gonna lay down to Errol, but I can see Errol getting the best of him in a couple of spots. I give Errol the edge on this one.
All right, Zane, who you got and why?
I got Earl. More finesse, speed, footwork. Establishes the jab, counter punching. I would say Earl. I would say round 9.
Wow,
Body shot.
that's a bold prediction.
Body shot, uppercut, right hook, lights out.
And you don't get out of here with this Mike Tyson punch out body shot.
Yeah, he's not fighting Glass Joe.
Yo,
All right, not Glass Joe. He fighting at least like Piston Honda.
nah. Yo, Kareem, who you got and why?
I got Spence because I think he has a lot to prove. I think before the car accident, it almost seemed like he was losing his way a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think now he's kind of, it almost seems like he's refocused again. So I think he's got a lot to prove to everybody after this injury. At the same time, I'm a little skeptical on whether he's the same fighter after the injury. But that, which is why I have it going, I guess, to decision. And I got Spence pulling it out in a close one.
I got Spence. I'm gonna take Spence in decision. Why? Because I have the utmost respect for Danny. I think Danny is an underrated fighter, and I don't think Danny roll over for anybody. I don't think Danny may be as skilled and talented as some of the other top welterweights, but Danny's heart, and to me, Danny has always showed me something. Like when it comes to these big fights, like he came up short against Porter and Thurman, but I remember watching Danny early on when he was at 140. And when people were saying, well, Matisse gonna wash him, and he whipped Matisse, Khan gonna wash him, he whipped Khan. Like my concern with Errol is not more so him coming back from the accident than him being overtrained. And I was sharing this with Ken, and I was saying that I've watched Errol for some time, and Errol looks like he's been at weight now for probably at least like the last month and a half. So I get leery about that. Like when you're a dude and your walk around weight is like 180 pounds, you being down at 147 for so long, to me, it's like, have you depleted yourself? Like, are you overtrained? That's my concern with Errol. But I watched the weigh-in today, and I was saying to myself, I was looking and I was like, yo, both of them look good. Actually, Danny was, I think, 146 and 3/4, and I think Errol was 146 and a half. Now, when they come in tomorrow for the fight, I'm sure Errol will be about 160 something. Yeah, and Danny will probably be up to like close to 160, and I think that we're going to see an Errol that's not going to be depleted, and he's going to be closer to his natural weight and rehydrated and look much better. I just think in terms of what Zane was saying with the counterpuncher, I think Danny's a really good counterpuncher, and Danny has timing. I expect this fight to kind of go the same way that the Mikey Garcia fight went, where Errol uses the jab, displays good range, take risk here and there and be strategic. And I think Danny is going to probably come up short and feel similar to how you felt when he fought Keith Thurman and Sean Porter, because the Keith Thurman loss for Danny, I think, was more so obvious that he lost the Keith Thurman. The Sean Porter fight was closer. But I just think that these other top welterweights are a little bit more skilled than Danny. Do any of them have the heart that Danny has? That I don't know. The heart and the chin. Because I've seen Danny get hit with some bombs and don't go
and keep going.
Yeah, and don't go nowhere. And I'm more so than Danny Garcia. I'm an Angel Garcia fan too. Like his dad, some of the stuff his dad be saying and riding with him or whatever. I'm like, yo, I could see, I could see this definitely going the distance. And Errol Spence.
This a pay-per-view fight?
This is a pay-per-view fight, man.
Okay.
This is a pay-per-view fight, and it's sad because
every now and then ESPN will sneak one on you, like.
Nah, you know who got the ESPN stuff? Bob Arum.
Right.
PBC got the game locked. Bob Arum. That's why Terrence Crawford now is constantly talking about like nobody won't let him in or they won't give him a fight. So I don't know if this is a stepping stone for Errol that didn't fight Crawford, but I was sharing this with Ken also. If I was Errol, the only way I would move on to fight Crawford is if it got to the point where now we could have fans in the stands, because this is the Errol and Crawford fight. The magnitude of it, the money that they can make with it is just astronomical if they can have fans in the stands. If they can't have fans in the stands, then they just fighting for the fans. And I get it. I'm a fan, but I also understand the business side of it also and wanting to maximize your dollar.
I'm telling you, once they open up the world, that's it, man. Everybody gonna be a hot ticket.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. You mentioned Spence in terms of maybe being overtrained because he's walking around at weight for so long. But on the flip side, I've seen these guys lose weight at the very last minute. You know, it has that same effect, you know, where they just drain. They go 180 a few days before down to 147 or whatever it is too.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a big gap, man. That's a real wide gap, man. Like,
it's definitely a science to making weight, right? That's why, you know, if you think about it, like a lot of the federations, they have weigh-ins. They have like a 90-day weigh-in, 60-day weigh-in, a 30-day weigh-in that these people have to be at a certain weight.
Yeah.
And it's a science to it, because if you jump out the window, right, and say that you got on the calendar that you got to fight 4 months from now, and you drop all that weight, and then imagine if you walk around at 180, like right now, I walk around at about like 185. And if I was fighting in February and automatically I'm like, I need to get down to 147, and I dropped 40 pounds, and how you call it was 40 pounds less, you know, how you call it, like, yo, it takes a toll on your body. That's why some of these dudes, after a while, that constant rigor of gaining the weight, losing the weight, and going back and forth. Like, remember, we spoke to Antonio Tarver. What did Tarver say? Like, yo, the biggest fight is actually the fight with the scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, could you imagine?
And speaking of Tarver, hey, did y'all see what Tarver posted up lately? Tarver want to fight the Jake Paul dude.
Yeah, I seen
That's
that.
not a fight, man. I don't want to.
Come on, he's a real fighter. Yeah, he's a real fighter. I don't know why
he's taking advantage, bro. He's taking advantage of that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was interested about this fight too.
I would rather see Tarver versus James Toney.
Yeah, nah. I don't want to see James Toney.
That'd be a good fight. Yo, you gotta tip your cap to Errol though for even taking this fight, because a lot of people would have took a tune up and said, you know what, I'm gonna take a softer touch and fight somebody else. But I guess he must feel like that he in a position now in his career where every fight got to be a big fight, you know. And right now, it's back and forth with him and Crawford also, where Crawford is saying that he wouldn't take a 60-40 split. Crawford, to me, has done more at the 140 division than what he's done at 147. I don't see how Crawford makes a legitimate argument as to why Errol Spence should split 50-50 with him. Like, Crawford is doing his numbers on free TV, and Spence is doing his numbers on pay-per-view. Like, Spence's last couple of fights, the Porter fight was on pay-per-view. Mikey Garcia was on pay-per-view. This is going to be on pay-per-view. This will probably do, I wouldn't be surprised, this will probably do anywhere from 300 to 400,000 buys.
Yeah, Crawford thinks he's the draw, but he's not really the draw on this. It would be Spence. And looking back at the fight with Spencer Garcia, like, a lot of times when you look at it, we talk about how this is a fight for Spence. It's also a big fight for Garcia, because it's sad the way boxing works. Like, you could be the best fighter in the world, but when you start putting out those losses on the end of your name, all of a sudden, the fights you get start to diminish and everything else. So keep picking up losses. I mean, it's important for him to put forth, win or lose, one of the best showings, so he can keep getting quality fights too.
Yeah, I'll say this though, like, because I agree with you, Kenyatta, exactly what you said. But I'll say this, like, the losses that Danny Garcia got, those aren't losses that, you know, to be ashamed of. Like, you lost to Sean Porter and Keith Thurman. Now, if you was out there losing to the likes of Josecito Lopez or Luis Colazo, dude, like, you know, like, those are losses that you like, it may be a wrap. You know, but he's losing you lost to the top dudes, you know. So, and he lost in 50-50 fights also, where people was like, these are, you know, anybody could win these fights. Like, I see tomorrow as if Errol Spence didn't have that accident, I would have said that Errol Spence in an easy fight for Errol Spence, just because Danny Garcia, like I said, he may not necessarily have the talent attribute. Like, he's flat-footed, he's a little slower than the other.
It takes a while for him to get going.
Yeah, he's
It's a
powerful.
real while for him to get his motor going. But like homeboy said, don't sleep on him. He'll throw a haymaker in there.
That left, he do this shit.
Bang, right.
He's not even looking and put you to sleep, boy. He spun. Yo, did you see how he spun Eric Morales?
They call it the dead arm. His whole jaw went like this.
Spun Eric Morales, put Khan to sleep. Yeah. That left is. But the other thing I think also is that, remember, Errol's a natural southpaw, right? So Errol being a natural southpaw, that means that Errol's is gonna be in position for the left. You know, the one thing I wonder that'll make this fight interesting also is that Errol's a dude who also works on the body.
That's what I'm saying. It's go. You leave a rib cage open.
Yeah, but you know what? With him working on the body, also he could be in range for the left hook. My strategy, if I was Errol's coach, is I would say it's okay to be in range to work the body, but you got to be close enough in on him where Danny can't get the leverage.
Get that hook
on, suffocating the punch.
Yeah, he can't get the leverage. But again, like I said, I don't think I would rule Danny Garcia out of a fight against any of the welterweights. Any of them.
So what are the round predictions? I know Shannon said decision. What about the other three?
Decision.
I think decision. I get an edge to Errol in the decision.
I'm kind of close to where you at, Zane, with the ninth round. Or
round nine. Yeah, I think around there.
Knockout or TKO?
I'm going with TKO.
Yeah, TKO sound more reasonable. Yeah.
Damn.
I think like I know they both gonna train well, but I think Garcia is gonna be gassed. I think Garcia is gonna start figuring out his rhythm by like the third round, but I think Errol Spence is gonna be on him, you know what I'm saying, from the first round. And I think Garcia is gonna gas out and Spence to get him about the ninth round tomorrow.
So y'all think that Mikey Garcia was able to go the distance with Spence, but Danny Garcia is not going to be able to go the distance with him?
I think it's partially because I think Spence is going to go out there. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see him try to do something electric in the first couple of rounds. He's been off for a while. There's a lot of questions around whether
Spence going to be more active.
Whether his energy is what he's going to be like after the accident, and he's going to feel like he's got to prove something to people. The sad thing about that is that also makes you susceptible to
get knocked out.
Yeah, to get knocked out.
Yeah, to get knocked out. I'm saying this, like, I think we'll know within the first two rounds the direction that fight is going to go, because if Spence come out with that jab the same way he comes out with he came out with the jab for Mikey Garcia, then I think that clearly tells me that his intentions is just to outbox Danny Garcia for the night, you know. And Danny Garcia, I think what makes it difficult for him also is that he's been able to beat a lot of the lower level fighters because they come close enough, you know, and their ring IQ is not like some of the higher people. And here's the other thing that people got to remember also, like, you always hear these people say that, you know, well, this person hasn't knocked somebody out in this amount of time and this, that, or whatever. As you become a champion and the level of competition steps up, it becomes a lot more difficult to knock some of these dudes out because you're fighting more quality fighters. You're not fighting these gas station or bar fighters or street fighters no more. You fighting dudes that have amateur pedigrees, dudes that are that have been in the Olympics, dudes that are world champions. So their ring IQ, although it may not be the level of yours, their ring IQ is pretty high as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, a lot of those guys have, like, they're fighting for something. Like you mentioned, Garcia, right? He has a lot on the line, so he's not going to go out there and just roll over. You know, he's not looking.
He's that North Philly guy. Them North Philly niggas know how to fight, man.
Mm-hmm. Yo, I'll tell you this. So here's my thinking on this fight. Like, because I was saying, if Errol wins, I don't know if he goes right to Crawford. If flip side of that is if Danny loses, I don't see why Danny doesn't fight Crawford. If they give him a big offer, let's say if they say, yo, we got $10 million for you or whatever, why does Danny not fight Terrence Crawford for $10 million? Even though Bob Arum cheap ass ain't doing that.
Nah, he's got to jump on a fight like that because, again, you know, at any point when they start seeing those L's next to your name, It was him. You could go down that Zap, start turning into Zap or something where you
Yeah, like
throw
William
throw
Johnson,
four
like
throw
the
four L's next to your name and see how many people want to fight you then. Right? Yeah. He gonna go out there and I would take the Terrence Crawford fight. I'd take any of those fights at that point. You gotta jump on that payday. And hopefully you could knock one of those dudes out or hurt him enough that you get another one. Go out there and make Crawford look bad and try to get a rematch out of that or something.
Right.
Yeah, I was so disappointed with Kell Brook, man. I was so disappointed with Kell Brook. I was disappointed with Kell Brook, and not to take anything away from Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford is a great fighter. He landed a hell of a punch, but I wanted to believe that Kell Brook wasn't a shot fighter. And after that performance, like I'm like, this dude getting knocked out on the jab. I'm like, clearly Kell Brook still has, like facial injuries. The last person would come on, like, yo, he act like this dude had a jab like Drago from Rocky. The way he fell across the ring, I'm like, yo, we really doing this, man?
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah. So I want to see though, what I really want to see is Kell Brook leave Bob Arum and either go solo and become his own promoter or throw his hat in the ring with the PBC fighters and get some of these PBC fighters. I'd love to see him compete with some of these PBC fighters because you can't fault the man. He fighting the competition that they put in front of him, right? Yeah. But I want to see him mix it up with a Keith Thurman. I want to see him. I'd even like to see him fight the dude that Sean Porter fought, Ugas. I want to see him in there with dudes that have higher pedigree than the people that he's fought. Like Amir Khan Chin is suspect. Kell Brook, Kell Brook was a bigger welterweight, but Kell Brook, come on, like at this point in Kell Brook's career, Kell Brook is not the same Kell Brook. And then he fought the dude Benavidez, who was coming off of getting shot in the leg that had one leg.
Man.
And then he fought Mean Machine. He's fighting like these dudes that Bob Arum is just rolling up to the post office like, yo, you available for a fight in a couple of weeks? You want to fight?
Nah, not even the
post. It's like Rocky, office. Basically. All these guys is handpicked.
Yeah, and
handpicked. And knock you to the
He's not even rolling up to the post office. He's not even rolling to the post office. He's rolling up to 7-Eleven.
Yo, speaking of that, did you hear who Triple G's next fight is?
Nah, who?
Yo, Triple G is fighting some dude that nobody ever heard of before. Nobody.
It's a setup.
Nobody. Yo, Triple G, I'm not mad at Triple G. He chasing that Canelo fight, but he got to give up on it. Like, I don't think Canelo gonna give him a third fight. But he fighting like a real nobody for real. Like, yo, the dude got 5 knockouts. The dude got like 21 wins and 5 knockouts. I was watching this highlight reel and somebody was like, yo, I know people who got more knockouts in the street than a professional boxer. So,
oh my God.
Yeah,
it's a walk away for Triple G with that.
Yeah, the undercard looks decent too. Like I think they got Josecito Lopez on there fighting somebody. They got a middleweight fight on there also. So the undercard looks decent also. It should be a good show, and like I'm expecting for it to kind of play out the same way Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence played out. Where I think that Errol Spence, I agree with Kareem, like. Prior to that accident, Errol Spence to me he lost his humility. Like he was a hell of a fighter when he was humble, but then once he won that title, next thing you know, he had like 7 gold chains, the Ferrari, he getting drunk at press conferences, going off on people and all this stuff. So I think this accident probably humbled him, and he probably is going back to his roots and that focus and trying to get himself back together.
Right.
He looks in amazing shape. My concern is that. I'm just saying, like, I don't know how you could drop 40 pounds of weight, and walk around for months, 40 pounds lighter, that to me is, but I'm not a professional fighter. So I don't know how that works, but that seems a lot. Like I exercise daily. And when I'm down 5 pounds, I'm angry. So I could imagine how angry he must be. Closing words, guys. Ken, go ahead. Closing words.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great fight to see. Whatever, it's better than watching people fight adults in the parking lot for twerking, or watching grown men yell at people in restaurants or something. So I'm looking forward to seeing the fight, so we'll stop watching all this twerking foolishness right now.
Good one, brother.
Yeah, again, I got Spence winning in decision. I think it's going to be a good fight. That's pretty much it.
Zane? Damn, Zane, what you got? Arthritis? You just grabbed your back?
IPO.
Nah, I had to take this sweat off. Yeah, I would say, like I said, Spence, round 9, body shot, uppercut, right hook.
This motherfucker with this contra shit. Left, right, A, B, start.
Yeah, so you pull out the P code.
Yeah, he got the punch sequence down on the win. He got it down.
I'll be right back, fellas.
Yo, Zane said body shot. Yo,
Left, right.
yeah, Rob. Closing words.
Spence, man. I mean, this guy, he's a phenomenal talent. I think, man. I just think he's gonna clean it up shop. But like I said, man, it's gonna be a fight. I think the fight is gonna be from the ninth round right to the finish. That's when it's gonna really heat up. So
yeah,
we'll see a good fight.
Yo, the last couple of fights I watched with Spence though, and Rob, I think you was at my house for the Mikey fight, right? You came over the Mikey fight, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've been watching these fights, and I'm like, yo, Spence going in and really fighting these dudes the way that they want to fight, like the Mikey joint. I was surprised because I'm like, he gonna steamroll Mikey. But then when he went out there and put on that boxing clinic, I was like, oh, this dude is not playing. No. And even with the Porter fight, I'm like, yo, I was surprised that he made to me. I think he made that Porter fight much more difficult than what it needed to be. Like he could have just totally outboxed Porter.
He wanted to fight Porter's fight because Porter likes to get up in your shit.
Yeah, he said that.
And he
said that in an interview this week.
He tapped his jaw real clean. Wow.
Yeah.
Put his ass down.
But I think he learned something about that, something from that, and I could see him honestly going in and just giving a good boxing lesson and outboxing Danny Garcia and walking out, with a solid victory. The only thing I hate about this is that some of these fights when people just put on boxing clinics, the judges always make it debatable. Like I would even go as far as saying in the decision, I'd probably say like 8 rounds to 4 rounds, 8 rounds Spence, 4 rounds Danny, because I like Danny, man. I do too, man. I do too. It's just that he's in a league or just a time where it's just a few other guys that just got a little bit better, I guess. Yeah, but you know what it's funny you said it because I was thinking. Also, I was like, yo, where does Danny go from here? Because I couldn't see Danny going up to what Danny going to do at 154 if he moved up to 154. Can Danny beat Jamel Charlo?
No.
Can Danny compete with even the dude that Charlo just beat? The dude, what was his name? Jason Rosado, that dude that beat up Julian Williams. You got Jarrett Hurd up there. You got Demetrius Andrade. There's a lot of dudes at 154. Like the 154 division is packed now.
They got some big hitters up there too. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think
right. Listen, man, fresh blood. He be fresh blood at 154.
Yeah, he be food at 154. You mean?
Talking on those hours.
Steak up there.
Yeah, he be food. He got a name, so I'm sure people will probably jump on him, but I just don't. I think that 147 is the division for Danny, and I think that Danny is kind of like PBC is running. They're running out of people also to match. Even though there are some kids that's coming up. I forget the kid's name that's coming up. I forget his name, but he's a dude that everybody is like, yo, he's next. Damn, I forget the dude's name.
Young cat, right? Young Spanish cat.
Is he Latin or is black?
He's a black dude. He's a black dude. Something, I don't know if it's not Gerard Ennis. Gerard Ennis he fight too, but it's another dude, Jamar. I forget what his name. He just hasn't been in with top level competition yet, but everybody looking at him like he got next.
Okay.
You know, everybody looking at him like he got next. So, you know, after a while, you know, I'd imagine that it's got to be tough for Errol to keep making 147 also. So Errol gonna have to move up to 154 as well. And yo, I'll say this also, in terms while we, you know, just to kind of like tie this up. ESPN keep making all these pound for pound lists, and on their pound for pound list, they always got Terrence Crawford #1, or before they had Lomachenko. But I don't care what nobody say. You know who I think is the #1 pound for pound that people be fronting on? Canelo. Like I think Canelo,
quietly, right? Yeah.
I think Canelo pound is number. I think a lot of people don't like Canelo, but I think that Canelo has shown that Canelo could you know, Canelo is like a multi-division champion. He gets in there, he delivers.
He got them Roberto Duran hands too. He got fucking center blocks.
Yeah. And yo, since he fought Mayweather, look at his defense, yo. Look at Canelo defense. Canelo was slipping, bobbing, and weaving, making moves miss like Canelo. And matter of fact, I think Canelo, if not next week, the week afterwards, Canelo also fight is coming up. Yeah.
All right, bro. We're gonna be at your house, man. Get that big ass sandwich you bought last time. Ready to eat.
Yo, so thank you. We are again. Thanks.
I might make my way up for that once, you know.
Yeah. Come on up, bro.
I might make I missed the Thanksgiving jank, but I might make it up for the Canelo jank.
All right, yeah. Come up and shoot the shit with us. Come up and hang out.
Be good to see you, man. Be good to see you.
Yeah, but they ain't no twerkers here, so I don't know.
Yeah. Don't bring no rapper girls with you.
I'm gonna bring the twerkers. Let me stop.
They ain't no twerkers here, so I don't know how that's gonna work for you. But thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it.
I'm gonna bring the twerkers. They're gonna be twerking outside. Cause I'm like, you're not letting them in my house.
LP having that, so she gonna leave them niggas at the cul-de-sac. You bring them. They gonna be right outside playing ball in front of the house.
Shooting hoops in the snow. Yeah.
For real.
Shout out to the No Ideas Original Sports Cats, Kenyatta, Kareem, Theo, who couldn't join us tonight. We appreciate it.
Shout out to Theo, my nigga Theo.
Theo. Interviews, bro. Amazing interviews. Good interviews. I've been enjoying it a lot, you know, so keep up the good work.
We got some nice surprises coming up too, y'all, before the year is up. So
I want to say, man, we got a good team right here, man. Let's stick it out, man. Let's make some good shows, man. For real. We got a good bunch of brothers today, man.
For sure.
Shout out to Tavia. Next Friday we'll have Tavia. As far as for everybody that's trying to get into real estate, I'll be posting that promo up, and everybody else will be posting that promo up in the next couple of days to get in on this real estate. Hey,
do it.
Make it happen.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Peace, fellas.